Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome to a casted game. Starting on the top of the map we have BaldWizard playing as the French, and Tom as well, starting on the bottom as the French. The map is French Pass, and so we'll have a French mirror. Interestingly enough, there's a spawn over here that looks... Oh, it's almost passable, but I think it's probably blocked off over here. Very curious. So standard build order for Tom here. He's going 6 on food. Next villager goes to build a house, then a gold mine. And BaldWizard doing a little interesting lumber camp and one on wood. With the standard 6, 1, and 1. Tom is going 7, 1. I'm going to speed this up a bit because French mirrors are kind of boring in the early game, at least until the knights come out. It's also a 56-minute game, so we have to keep the video file small, otherwise YouTube will take about 2 weeks to upload. So we're looking at an 8-3 split for Tom and a 8-1-2 split for BaldWizard. Well, now, as we say that, it's 8-1-3. Sheep collection going on for both sides. We have 4 for BaldWizard and a nice 7 for Tom. Seems like there's a double scout opener for Tom and just a single scout for BaldWizard. BaldWizard has already gone up with the School of Cavalry. Tom is heavy on his gold. He has 320, but not enough food yet. So he'll be slightly delayed on his age up. Interesting. BaldWizard anticipating the night rush on his gold, and he's already towered it up. Tom is just about ready to go up, and he drops the School of Cavalry down right next to his town center as well. Building with 3 villagers, which, hard to see how many are on it for BaldWizard, but it looks like 2 or 3. 3. That's probably why BaldWizard went for the early wood, because he wanted that outpost on his gold. Tom going for stone, interesting, and I think BaldWizard spots that out. Ooh, the scout is going to go down for Tom, checking in on what's going on. Curious to know what the stone is for. It looks like a 2 TC opener. Don't really know why else he'd be mining 3 gold, 3 on stone that early. And he's walling. Interesting. So, BaldWizard's strategy for the night raids on his gold was to tower up the gold. And Tom's like, I want none of that, I'm just walling off that left side. And I'll have to deal with it on the right side. And now he's walling up on top over here as well. So he just wants to go full greed, 2 TCs. And he might just harass a couple of villagers just to delay BaldWizard from massing up. BaldWizard has an early market, probably to balance out that all that heavy wood that he's been chopping. And he's also going for 3 on stone, so he's going for a second town center. Interestingly enough, he puts down a second outpost, so he's really worried about those raids. And for about every villager he has on the Golder Stone, he wants to have places in the tower for them to pop in. Tom already has enough to build his second town center. It's going down perfect spot on the deer, on the berries. He'll have a lot of food for days. And we have a second market. This has got to be either a misclick or something, because even if you're trading, I mean, I guess he's trading, but it interesting placements. No traders being produced over here. And no traders being... Oh, there we go. Traders hit the gun. And Night Raids come in. And BaldWizard gets a Knight. I think he forgot he built this first market, so he built the second one. And that's what happened. So we have some trade going on. A little bit difficult to trade against the French because they can just send in a Knight or two, camp them out by that neutral market on the top, and he'll get everyone. And as we see, Tom will notice now that BaldWizard has begun to trade, and hopefully he responds accordingly. Now the military force for BaldWizard, for Tom, is very small. And he's so heavy on gold. He wants the fast castle, and he wants the fast castle yesterday. And as we say that, 2 knights going up to deny the trade of BaldWizard. Very smart by Tom over there. A battering ram coming down. Tom is about to get pressured. And he's going up with... nothing. He's building a stable. There was an age up sound, but I guess he didn't actually build anything. He's going ham on the double archery, double stable with the School of Cavalry, and the ram is just about in. Tom notices it and pulls the knights up from the top. 4 knights on the way. Battering ram gets in, and the knights are in. Tom backs up, pulls all the villagers, and heads out with knights. But there is a lot of knights for BaldWizard. But now with the reinforcements coming up from the top, he can chase them right out, and he'll probably pull the villagers to deal with that ram. Or keep shooting at it until... yeah, there we go. The villagers on the ram, as well as the knights. So Tom very well defended that very nicely. Let's see if I can clean up this UI a little bit. I'll keep that on. Oh wow, we have some stone walls coming out here. BaldWizard wants none of the raids, and he's stonewalling up the entire right side of his base. Very curious that he's not even taking a little more territory. Wow, we have 7 knights and 2 horsemen camping out to deny any more trade from BaldWizard. That's a lot of knights. 12 knights. Little does he know he will not be able to get in. Somehow BaldWizard knows that he's there, and he's chasing him down. Now we have a clash in that corner. We have about 8 knights versus 12 and 2 horsemen, and so BaldWizard wisely backs off. Reinforcements are on the way, but I don't think he knows yet that there's stone walls to deny him from getting up. Knights are steadily building, and BaldWizard is up to castle. And he's building another set of walls on the bottom to completely wall himself in. So if we look at the villager count, we have Tom at 87 villagers, very nice. BaldWizard, again 55 villagers, that's not enough. He hasn't gone second TC. He wanted to trade, and now he's gonna have to settle for this little trade route, which is giving him 9 gold a trade. That is absolutely terrible. Well, he thought he was trading on the top, but since he didn't get the stone walls in on the top right side, he's now gonna have to deal with that. Oh, very nice. He's killing the boar. Villagers going on the boar. Little does he know that you cannot send 27 villagers out to a boar, because at most only 8 can gather. So you're going to have basically idle villagers without it actually saying idle villagers. Hopefully he moves them to a deer patch or starts building farms, because... Oh, he notices and he's going for berries now. Somewhere back here. Archer's moving in. Knights as well. And he's going to realize that he can't get in. Let's see. Will he make it in time? Oh, it looks like he's going to sneak in just at the right time. He gets in on the villager, and that wall will be denied. In comes the knights. Mangonels as well. But the horsemen quickly get the siege. The archers have been held back, and the knights are completely wiped. Wow, that was a butchery. And Tom is going to pull back and cut his losses. And a villager will probably be coming out to finish that wall shortly. Knights are healing out just outside the gates. And villagers are building a stone wall tower, I'm assuming. Yep. And here it looks like a pretty even fight, but you know what? BaldWizard has those crossbows which are going to make all the difference, mopping up those knights, and then it's just bloodbath for the archers because they can't stand a chance against the knights. So Tom gets completely repelled on his assault, and he's steadily making new forces. He has so much map control. He's completely walled BaldWizard in on the top side, so he won't get any raids from that, and all he has to deal with are a quick wall being thrown up over here to deny anything. He most likely saw him coming out somehow and figured, I need to be safe, and he threw down that wall. That's very high level awareness over there. But now the knights are pushing in, and the villagers are going to have to safely garrison the town. Oh, they're going for a second quick wall while he moves his forces up, I'm assuming. Very nice over there. What BaldWizard needs to do is pull the... Oh, he's going double, triple, quadruple wall, anything to keep those knights out from killing the villagers. And he has the wood to do it. And by now the knights are already starting to pour in. With the crossbows and archers not far behind, they will be able to focus in on these knights as they come through. And he pulls the villagers back while he gets in another wall for free. Let's look at the villager count. We have 119 for Tom. Wow, that's some great awareness. Just going ham on the farms. Getting that food count up to astronomical levels. BaldWizard is 800 food. He's at 5,000. If he wants to imp up, all it takes is just moving everyone to gold. Let's look at BaldWizard, and he's at 69 villagers, so that's not going to be able to compete with 114. Siege starts to pour out for Tom, which is 3 mangonels. He's now pouring on the knight. And against 2 mangonels, you don't want to be pulling people to one small choke point, because that's just going to be butchery. Now, BaldWizard doesn't want any part of Tom, and he's stonewalling again because he has to come. I'm not sure what the second level of stonewalls are because he doesn't really have anything here anyways. But I guess he's just being extra cautious. Over here he has a castle and he's mining gold. He's also walling behind that, so I guess Tom doesn't come up and sneak behind him. You can also get that sacred site and get some gold income from there as well. Also, mangonels seems to be the composition. Mangonels, knights, and crossbows for both players. And the red palace is coming down right in the middle over there by next to the other castle. Let's look at Tom. Tom has not imped up at all, even though he had the res to do it. Oh, there we go. Tom goes up to the Red Palace. The Red Palace is somewhere. Oh, he goes College of Artillery. Interesting. He's rallying it straight up to where his forces are, and he's building 3 cannons, which are going to be necessary to deal with the Red Palace. Interesting how Tom decides to push. He decides to ignore the middle, and that's going to make the Red Palace completely useless because it's protecting just 15 villagers on gold. But Tom's just going to rally right out to here and try and deal with those walls. He's getting the relics as well. Very good. Excuse me. Very good awareness. He has 46 villagers on this gold mine, and they're going to run out very soon, and he'll move up to the top one over here. Wow. 55 villagers on one gold mine. And now, BaldWizard with elite knights pouring in over here. He wants to get Tom, and he wants him now. These knights are not elite yet, so they might have a difficult time dealing with all these upgraded elite knights. But the Arbaletier are elite, whilst BaldWizard aren't. Military force for Tom is only 76, whilst BaldWizard is, wow, 48. He doesn't really have much of a military, and the economy is only 77. Tom is up to 124, so Tom has the eco advantage. Now he just has to make it a military advantage as well. Tom doesn't know about this Red Palace, which is going to be a problem for him if he decides to push this way. And I think he decides, I don't want none of that middle, I just want to go straight for the base. And so he moves up to the top. Cannon have not moved in yet. He should just move that cannon up, which he probably will do shortly. But it looks like the mangonels got down without it. And military forces building of 25 knights and 5 mangonels. And they're starting to pour down the walls. Tom hasn't really mined some of the stone after he built that town center. That's it, he's in. First set of walls. Those traders are about to get worked on. Those are much better traders, getting 99 a trip instead of the 9 on the other way. And curiously, he backs off. I guess because he sees all these knights and he wants to deal with them. And wow, we have 7 mangonels here. 6 mangonels. It looks like a pretty even composition. 27 Arbaletiers, 14 knights. Here we have 26 knights, so 9 Arbaletiers, and some hand cannons as well. Let's see how this fight goes. Knights in the come to snipe the siege, but then they get wiped out by the mangonels and the crossbows. The knights are going for the mangonels on his side, and it's been a bloodbath for both sides, really. But it looks like Tom's getting the upper hand. And clean up right there. Reinforcements coming in. He has stables around the keep, getting him cheaper knights at 105.75 instead of 140.100. And he's building a second keep over here to try and stop the push. So Tom cleans up, and he's down. He has 72 military. I wonder where all that military is, because this can't be just it. Oh, he has some more massing over here. And he's pop capped. He has villagers doing some extremely long distance wood chopping. That's a lot of walking. But again, at this stage of the game, it's very hard to macro where your villagers go for wood. And he's running out of tree lines as well. Yeah, he's basically out of trees at this point. Monk's still bringing in the relics. He has his cav upgrade biology from the university. I wonder if BaldWizard got a university upgrade, because sometimes you forget about that. No, but he has them as well. Cannon's going out the keeps and getting pulled back to deal with the knights. Very good microing the fight. Tom is just very good at microing men in the battle, I'm noticing. Composition is good for him, but these battles are hard to see who can win. So there's a lot of smoke from the cannon. You can't really tell how many knights are there. And this castle is holding strong against those 5 cannons. Ooh, cannon gets sniped. Nice size military for Tom. Kind of no military for... Yeah, 11 military for BaldWizard. That's not good at all. Holy cow, 30,000 food for Tom. He has so much food he doesn't even know what to do with it. And at this stage, I don't think BaldWizard has a chance. The amount of res that's saved up for is just too much. Siege going down. Keep's about to go down to those bombers. At this stage, 5 cannons, get 7 cannons. There's no way that a keep is going to last more than 20 seconds against that many bombers. And the knights are coming in to try and clean up the bombers, but they're just going to get wiped out. Crossbows on the back. The knights are holding. This is great. Great stuff from Tom. Very impressed with Tom so far. BaldWizard does have some better wood line control, because his villagers aren't that far all over the map. The trade is picking up for him. He's returning with, we can't see the return yet, but there were 99 a trip. He's running out of gold because he depleted the gold mine in the middle here, and there's nothing left anymore. Tom is not trading anymore, so he's on a probably no income per minute for gold. He is. He must be mining gold still somewhere. Oh, he's mining in the middle here. He built a keep, pushed him off his gold mine, and now he's mining here. The amount of food he has saved up, though, he's just gonna cruise right through here. BaldWizard is at 30 military. A lot of spearmen on the Red Palace, which is no joke. If he would garrison them up, they would wipe the entire army in about 20 seconds. But they're fighting instead. Yeah, it's a shame. Next time you're in a situation like that, you pull the spearmen inside and let the Red Palace deal with everything, because the Red Palace can destroy even bombers. The cannons has 10 tiles of range, and a bombard has, let's see, 10 tiles of range, so it's even matched with the bombard. I'll take out a bombard, no problem. But now trying to deal with the amount of bombers that he has, which is 5 bombers we're talking about, they're not going to stand a chance. The ball defend is not a good idea if you don't have the men to protect it. His villagers are repairing it, but they cannot out-repair the damage 4 bombards. And they're trying to repair, but every time they do, they just get destroyed again. He's just bleeding wood at this stage. There's a little bit of a hold going on. Tom has to back up with more units, and he has them funneling in from the bottom. Interesting, it looks like he begun to trade a little bit, or maybe not, just markets. Not really sure where the markets are being used for. I don't see any traders being produced. Maybe they're set up just in case they need to produce. I would suggest to Tom in his next games to put some stables around your keeps. It makes your knights cheaper, and with the Imperial upgrade, when you get enlistment incentives, it makes it even cheaper. There's no reason you should have to be funneling in knights from the bottom of your base. That's just too far for them to walk, especially since you have a castle right here. Just plop down a whole bunch of stables. They'll help you get units onto the map faster. So we see a transition to Spearmen from BaldWizard, which is going to be easier to produce because you don't need gold for them. But again, the amount of long distance chopping that's here now is just not so efficient at all. This is a really long game. Wood line's getting depleted. There's almost no wood for Tom anymore. I don't even know if he's gathering it. No, he stopped gathering wood a while ago. He just doesn't have the wood lines to get. Spearmen going out to the cannons, but they're going to get cleaned up now by old siege. Hand cannons coming in. And just the unit composition is so much stronger for Tom that it's just only a matter of time before he overruns him. We're just looking at a basic siege composition with a couple of hand cannons and knights to back it up, but it's looking at 7 case springles, 7 cannons. There's not going to be much that you won't be able to deal with, and you're taking out every single bit of production that BaldWizard has. Spearmen rallying into the sacred site to try and hold. It is quite a nice amount, 28, but the amount of siege that's there is too hard to deal with. Getting murdered. Got the knights, Pringles coming in to help, and the scholars coming out, probably to get that sacred site second. The way is clear. And I can see where this is going. Just overrun. BaldWizard put up a good fight this game. Lasted 55 minutes. He got a little bit unlucky with his trading that got interrupted very early. But I think his issue was the economic count, and there we have him tap out. Tom's getting in his base and he doesn't want any more. And that's it. I think in this series, BaldWizard did really well. He just has to keep up his production of villagers, make sure his production of units can keep up with the amount that his enemy's making. And that's a great, great, great game from both Tom and BaldWizard. Anyways, thank you for listening. Have a good night.